This article alleges the one-in, one-out deal will escalate the migration crisis and make it worse. This is Stupid Stories by News of the Week, the show where I go behind the headline or the post and explain the truth behind misleading or inaccurate reporting so you don't get tricked. Now, this headline is from The Express and it's written by a spokesperson for Advance UK, which seems to be a new party on the right of politics that is nationalistic, favours low intervention and professes to be for the nation, freedom, democracy and equality. But honestly, maybe there's a video to be done here on those missions on their own. The first claim I'm going to talk about is that it says you can't fix illegal migration by making it legal. Obviously, that statement alone is true because the issues with illegal migration would still be there to deal with if you've made it legal. But stay with me though, because the deal doesn't legalise illegal migration. It aims to deal with some of the issues behind illegal migration, like the bureaucracy with the claims and the backlog to the claims, as well as the threat to life part of the crossing. Admittedly though, whether it does this hinges upon its implementation and whether it can be scaled up and things like that. So he's not totally wrong, but this deal should, in theory, deal with some of the concerns behind illegal migration. Now, it also said it institutionalises illegal crossings, which was confusing to me because the issue, i.e. the need for safe travel for refugees, is something we have been committed to facilitating in the UK for decades and decades, even if this party is against such international laws and agreements having precedent over UK law. But for what it's worth, the deal aims to fast-track the valid schemes while deterring the bad ones, which, if scaled up, would deinstitutionalise or uninstitutionalise, whatever the word is, illegal migration. And that's because it would work to limit the illegal crossings and break up the gangs. Just think, if you knew there was a chance you'd be sent back after making an illegal crossing, would you still risk your life making the crossing? Now, it also goes without saying this is also one part of the broader illegal migration policy. The third claim is that it's not a deterrent, which is kind of true because at the current level, the scheme is not a deterrent. It's not working with enough people to deter illegal migrants en masse. But it's also misleading because that suggests that it won't ever be a deterrent. And the numbers that we're seeing right now, or that we could be seeing, are effectively a trial, like a basis for it to be scaled up from. Along the same line, it said it replaces 50 illegal migrants in the same lawless route, but that's misleading as well because the people being taken in return have a strong or at least a valid claim of legal entry. Therefore, they have a legal case to be permitted into the country. Fourth claim is over it being a framework for exploitation by the smuggling gangs, suggesting it wouldn't be effective. Now, in my notes, the government are in a catch-22 situation because they're in a situation where they can't disclose too much quote-unquote operational info, which would undermine the process by making it predictable and exploitable by the illegal gangs, but where they have to provide a certain amount to keep people informed. The fifth claim is that there are no serious efforts that are being made to close the launch points in front. That's difficult because things are being done, i.e. more money is being invested by the French, which we're told will translate into more border officers to facilitate enforcing their policy. We're also spending more money ourselves. The sixth claim I'm going to cover is that the article says people arriving as a result of the scheme are still breaking the law and are only being processed as legal due to it being a swap. If we insist on seeing it as part of a swap, then we have to admit it's not a like-for-like swap. The people being returned would have illegally entered the UK and did not have a strong claim to be in the country, whereas the people being taken instead would have had a strong claim and wouldn't have broken the law. Now, the last line of the article said the treaty guarantees more crossings, more chaos and more betrayal. Now, I see how the authors got there given their arguments, but it just seems like some weird scare tactic to me. In theory, this will lower crossings by deterring them and practically breaking them up, assuming it can be scaled up, which would not be a betrayal. That doesn't mean it's certain, but in theory, it's not a big failure that this article is dressing it up to be. Anyway, I hope this video has made some misleading information about the one-in, one-out deal clearer to you. And if it has, please like this video and interact with it. Maybe share it with a friend, because if you found it useful, they might too. Bye!